Research is messy. Using graphic organizers can be a big help in keeping all of our information organized. I like the Lotus diagram for brainstorming questions before I even start my research. This is called the Lotus diagram because, like the lotus flower, it has a central topic, theme, or question. Then, ideas spiral outward from the center, like the petals on a lotus flower. Let's take a look at my nearly complete example. My central topic is texting while driving. From there, in the different colored boxes, brainstorm other questions, statements, or facts related to or about your topic. Then move each topic outward to the corresponding colors. Around each color, you will brainstorm additional questions, statements, or facts about that specific idea. It's okay to leave a few blanks because as you conduct your actual research, you will usually end up having even more questions. Let's take a look at one piece of the diagram. In the yellow rectangle, my initial question was, where was the first distracted driving accident? And then I brainstormed questions related to that question around the yellow box. Was there a fatality? Were new laws enacted because of this? What other types of distractions are there? Who was charged in the accident? If I look at my phone, how long does it take me to be in the car again? And what is that person doing now? And I have started a question and didn't finish it. Remember how I said research is messy? It took about 2 hours for me to brainstorm the questions on this page over the course of 2 days. It's okay to keep having more questions. That's when we learn the most. These questions will help you develop really strong, relevant search terms when you access the databases or the internet.
I thought I'd have a little go myself at beginning a Lotus diagram and seeing where it takes me. I have a particular interest in music and blues music, and it's long been an interest of mine to pursue that and learn more about it. So what I've done in the center of my Lotus diagram is simply put the broad idea of music and the blues music. What is it? I'm going to think more deeply about it and then pursue my question at a much later date. Around my very, very broad heading, I've thought, well, what do I want to know about this subject? First thing I'd like to know is, where did it begin? I have some pre-existing knowledge about that, but I'd like to research that more deeply and get a sense of its real roots of the music, the opening and the introduction of the music. I then thought, well, when I say blues, what do I mean? What are the musical characteristics of this style called the blues? I'd like to know more about who the most famous blues artists are. And already I think, well, when I find out who they are, I'm going to find out what it was that made them famous. And then I'm thinking also, what are the most famous blues songs? Now, all of these questions are going to lead me to further questions, and that's a good thing. So what I've done then is I thought, well, for the moment, I'm at the early stage of my Lotus diagram. I'm going to take this, which is quite a technical question. What are the musical characteristics of the blues? Now, many of you, of course, are not musicians, and those questions are going to draw on my expertise. So my questions are going to be like this. How is blues music different from classical music? And immediately I can see that that's going to involve some sort of a chart, some sort of a comparison. And so I feel that's going to lead me down a path that might be really useful for me going forwards. I'm going to look at this. What's a blue note? I'd heard this term blue note. Why it makes a note blue and why is it blue? I have some pre-existing knowledge, but I'd like to get some more opinions on that idea of what a blue note is. What notes do blues players use? And that's going to be a really interesting investigation, and I think it'll be different for different players. And finally, this is something that I've heard a lot about, the emotional content of the blues. The blues is characteristically an emotional musical form. I've got now, a way forward to begin some reading and some thinking to start to populate my folio. And I can see that there's 2 weeks' work just in and around those questions before I start to investigate other areas of this very broad subject. The exciting thing for me is, what question will I eventually end up conducting my investigation about? And what might my outcome look like? I'm quite excited about the idea of perhaps playing some blues music that's been influenced by the research that I've conducted.